Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Good morning and welcome to Johnny's Bite. Today is Thursday. We're heading for the weekend. But yesterday, we were presented with what has been codenamed the Agyenkwa budget. You know that since the Nana Addo Dankwa-led administration came, we have had the Asempa budget. We have had the Ejuma budget. We have had the Impunto budget. We have been told about the Obatampa. We also know about Ijapa, and now it is Agyenkwa. Forget that they are all Akanized, and that there are so many tribes in this country. But we decided to stay with Asempa, Ejuma, Obatampa, Agyenkwa, and Ijapa, and all of that. Forget about that. But this morning, I'm asking a simple question. This Agyenkwa budget, and Agyenkwa, for those of you who might be deficient in tree just like me, Agyenkwa means the Saviour. Polo, or whenever they say Dela, correct? Now, Agyenkwa budget. Who put us in harm's way that now we need an Agyenkwa to take us out of that? Have we been in harm's way since 2017? Or before that? And how long have we been looking at this Agyenkwa, this Saviour, to come to us? It's a very simple question. And yesterday, while the Agyenkwa budget was being presented by the Honorable Finance Minister, who likes to wear white, quote the Bible, and also sing praise and worship like the president enjoys James Amas Oye song, he said that we had been provided with free water. I thought that it was too low for the finance minister to have said that. Because the finance minister is one of the few people I respect. The finance minister, I respect him for many things, his achievements in this life, but also particularly because when we wanted to start free SHS, it was the finance minister who told government, his own government, he spoke truth to power. He told them that do not make it open for everybody, but let's try and zero out. So those who can pay must pay. His government didn't listen. We all know the challenges that have been fraught with free SHS because we were in a hurry to be very populist. So for that alone, I respect Mr. Kandufuriata for being able to tell his own people that where you are going is a slippery slope. Years down the line, I think it's been justified. Now we are talking about looking at ways of trying to implement free SHS better. Is it true that the children in school now do not have access to bread, common bread in school? Is it true that the children in the senior secondary schools now go and have their breakfast without bread? Have the parents heard about it? Is it true? People have mentioned it, but I'm asking. I'm not saying, I'm asking. Is it true? Because it's part of the free SHS component. We have the buffer stock. We always praise planting for food and jobs and talk about all those things. But is it true that the children can't find bread in school to eat? Is it true? If it is not, we can leave it. But I'm saying yesterday the finance minister said that we have been provided with free water. Now, I had occasion to speak with Dr. Daniel Ochema Boaji, was government spokesperson on finance in the last administration. This is what he told me sometime in April.
See, Honorable, you are a finance person, you're an accountant. If you buy something on credit, you don't pay for it immediately, but eventually you pay for it. It comes into your debt and you pay for it. So the fact that you are enjoying it now at no cost doesn't mean it is free. That's the understanding we should get and put out there.
Let me tell you, let me probably give you an analogy that will help if you want to focus on that payment, whether it's free or it's not free. If government gives tax waivers, or if businesses, for instance, get cut in electricity, and I'm affiliated with a business that enjoyed about 4,000 Ghana cedis per month as a result of this cut, so that would be 12,000. The 12,000 Ghana cedis for the 3 months earlier on could be used to employ at least one person or expand the business in many cases. What ultimately is going to happen is that the government will come back and say you need to pay corporate tax of 25%.
Right.
What eventually will happen is that for the jobs sustained, I will take money from the employee or the employees whose jobs were sustained in the form of pay as you earn pay. So the government, you might think, is giving things for free when they are supporting the people or businesses. Ultimately, the government knows that, one, he's doing a social good, he's supporting his own people. Eventually, all those tax holders and those bailouts will be paid.
Ochema Boaje was the spokesperson for finance for the government of Ghana under Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, under Vice President Bawumia, under President Akufo-Addo. So the finance minister of all people, he should know that his spokesperson had told us that there was nothing free. In fact, even free SHS is not free, because for everything that we've been told is free, we actually are paying money for it. So there's no free lunch anywhere. And just to mention to you, Mr. Finance Minister, the campaign season is over. It's not time for work. Show them the video of Mr. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah on Joy News, also reiterating the same point that Mr. Ochema Boaje had made. He spoke later, I think earlier this year or so. Listen to him.
Has made it very
to deal with the COVID pandemic. That's why today articles are being published around the world commending Ghana as one of the best response countries. But that 19 billion cedis has to be paid for at some point. The liabilities we have incurred has to be paid for. COVID expenses are going to be with us at least for the medium term.
Does the 19 billion include the free water and electricity you gave?
It does. It's part of COVID-related expenses.
No, but you gave us that one hand and you're taking it back the other.
No, we were in the midst of a crisis and government had to front load.
You said it was free.
But it's free to you. It wasn't free to the treasury. It wasn't free to the treasury.
I'm lost here.
No, so when we say free electricity, it doesn't mean that the IPP producer is also going to say, because the president has said free electricity, I won't charge the country for it.
The government will have to pay.
The government will have to pay.
Yeah, but I'm saying that you are now in 2021.
Yes.
You now want us to pay for it.
I'm saying the government, for example, had to borrow money, the fiscal impact about 19 billion, to make all of those expenses happen. In addition to that, there are going to be expenses in the medium term because of COVID. The government is asking a question. Can we continue to accommodate this COVID black hole in this already widening gap of our finances? Or do we have to introduce a revenue handle that can take care of it? And the government comes to a view that, with the greatest of respect, can we take 1% VAT to pay for that, so that
what you are paying for is not free. So, Mr. Finance Minister, if you came to present your budget on behalf of the president, present it quietly and go, so that the president can also enjoy his leave that he went on in a hired jet, which we're paying so much for. Don't tell us that it is free, because you see, the way you felt 7 years ago is the way the people of Ghana feel now. If you have forgotten, Mr. Finance Minister, let me take you back to 7 years ago. Occupy Flagstaff House. Do you remember? You were in a very beautiful Rasta hat. Do you remember? In a pink or a pink shirt or so with a V-neck. Do you remember? You were in the rain. You defied the rain. Do you remember? You spoke about hardships. You spoke about food fuel prices. Let's listen to the finance minister.
Sort of simple activism, which seeks to make government aware of certain obvious issues about the economy and basically the moral decadence that is going on with regards to corruption. And I'm just glad that the normal person is interested in coming to participate, using our constitutional rights as a means of...
This is how you felt. You spoke about taxes. You spoke about petrol price increases. You spoke about cost of living. You were in the rain. You had a face-to-face with the police, all of you. And I know many of you who were on that beat, in that demonstration, who are now serving in government, in very respectable positions in government. Mr. Ofori-Atta, I saw you around ATTC. At the apogee of the 2016 campaign, you were standing by the street and sharing flyers. You. And you made us all believe that when you come to power, you have the magic wand to turn a situation around. I think today you are making Muhammad look like an angel. Today he does. He looks like an angel because even though he did plenty things that we complained about, today he seems to be looking like an angel because of how things are running. The very things you complain about, borrowing, fuel prices, cost of living, cost of the price of kenke, all of those things, we are seeing worse under you. And I'm saying the people are feeling the same way you felt many, many years ago, 7 years ago. Do you remember I'm paying my taxes like a bull? I'm working like a bull. The government got to work like a bull. Do you remember that comment? Today, the people are calling on you. Let's listen to Vice President Dr. Baumia. He was looking for power. On that occasion, he was in the studio of Joy FM with Mr. Kweku Kwatin, sorry about that, the Deputy Finance Minister, and also Honorable Anthony Akuto Osei, who later became Minister for Monitoring and Evaluation. Listen to him.
Very much. I think Nana Akufo-Addo has made it very clear that his government is going to build a globally competitive economy. We have not really been thinking global, and this is what we need to do. That we have to understand that we are in competition with other countries, and investment moves from country to country, and we have to think global. And so, you know, the Nana Akufo-Addo policy, which he stated, is just basically to build the most people-friendly and the most business-friendly economy in Africa. This is the goal that we are going to try to do, the most people-friendly and the most business-friendly. The tax issue is a major issue because if you are so, fixated on revenue, you will essentially end up hurting your production. And so if you go back into history, you study the economic history of United States, Germany, England, all of them have used the tax, policy to encourage production. And this is why we are saying that, today you have a situation in Ghana, unbelievable situation, when businesses are out on strike. Businesses who should be selling are out on strike. Why are they out on strike? Because they've been overburdened by taxes, and if you don't take care, you'll be chasing the tax revenue and killing businesses. And when you kill businesses, it means you are causing unemployment.
Is that Vice President Baumia? Is that the same person leading the economic management team to present to us this budget they call Agyenkwa? And I asked the question, Agyenkwa means Saviour. Polo, Dela, or Jifu. Who are they saving us from? Themselves? Agyenkwa budget, saving who from who? Or saving us from what? Because the government intends to slap some e-levied on mobile money and banking transactions and everything. Maybe you think it's a very huge thing. Let me break it down for you. Let's assume that you work with a company that pays you about 1,200 cedis. They deduct income tax and all those things. So your net that you take home is 1,200. After all the deductions have been made, maybe it comes down, maybe like 1,000, 1,100, maybe 900 Ghana cedis or so. Let's bring it that way. Now they pay you your money via mobile money because they think that you are far away. After you have paid all the taxes on your 1,200 cedis already to the state, fulfilled your obligation. Your company has paid their corporate tax to the state, fulfilled their obligation. Now your company decides to send you your no-kofio of 900 or 1,000 Ghana cedis, and as soon as they send the money, 1.75% gone. You receive the money and you decide that, I have to give my pastor my tithe, 10%. You send it to your church bobo, 1.75. Then you say, this month I have to give my mother or maybe my father some money. You send 200 Ghana cedis to them, 1.75. Then you say, I have a girlfriend, let me sort her out, 1.75. Then you say, Friday night, I want to go and chill small, 1.75. So at every point, that same small money that you're receiving, which hardship Ken Ofori-Atta and Baumia spoke about, has seen deductions. And I've just showed you, I've just demonstrated it to you. Now imagine that you have a banking app. And I said, look, we may all perhaps start deleting our banking apps from our phones. Because if you have a banking app and the bank has given you the opportunity to be able to pull resources from your bank account onto your phone to make life easier, because we want to have a cash-like society, we want to move around and not carry bulky cash around and all of that. That's the agenda. That's the whole digitalization agenda. I pull money from my account onto my phone. As soon as I pull the money, maybe 1,000 cedis, 1.75 is gone. Then I decided, oh, I'm going to distribute. Let me give my wife 500 Ghana cedis to take them to the market. She gets to the market woman is using mobile merchant. Then I say, okay, I can't now survive. So my brother who is outside the country send me $100 or $200. 1.75. So you move here, they knock you. You move here, they knock you. You move here, they knock you. Is that the people-centered economy you said you were going to create? And who told the finance minister that when you send 100 Ghana cedis, they are not going to be deducting? In any case, that 100 Ghana cedis threshold already exists. The telcos are, in fact, Vodafone even does free. So when you come and tell us that you are taking credit for what you have done, and that's the kind of dishonesty I don't like. Because you keep telling us that you gave us free water, but we know we are paying for the water. You are telling us that you are giving us 100 cedis threshold, but we know that the telcos are already doing that for us. I send 100 Ghana cedis every now and then. I don't pay anything for it. I don't pay anything for it. What's going on? So now look at this analogy. Finally, bring it down. Look at this analogy. You say you have cleared road tolls. I don't know how it works in Parliament, but I know that yesterday the finance minister said if the budget is approved, road tolls will no longer be collected. That's what the finance minister said. It's there in black and white. Now, yesterday we saw a letter from the roads ministry that says that, oh, today, by midnight today, so it started this morning, all roads are free, and that's the excuse that traffic and all of that. Well, that's a fair comment, and that 70 million cedis is going to be free for the people. That's okay. Where I live, I don't go through what do you call it? The road to and fro to my house and from my. I don't go through it. I can stay a whole year without going through it because everything I need is around me. So now you have given me 1 cedi in, 1 cedi out, assuming I even use that every day. But for every little transaction I do, if I come to work, I'm ordering food, the delivery guy is bringing it to me, the food seller is taking money, 1.75. Delivery guy, 1.75. Everybody is taking from that small chunk of money that I have. How much of it will be left? In any case, if I decide to join Trotro, and the Trotro pays 50% pesos or 1 cedi at the road toll joint, okay? And we are all in the Trotro, about 17 or 18 people. The Trotro driver gives the 50 pesos or 1 cedi. It covers all of us. But you see, if the driver's mate decides that, oh, they want to obey the digitalization rule, so they also want to start taking their transport fares via Momo, everybody else, even if you are paying 3 cedis for your transport, once you pay 3 cedis, 1.75, so you see, if you accumulate all of that, we would have paid more if we were even all paying what you got road toll of 1 cedi or 50 pesos. So you are giving it to us with the right hand and taking it with the left hand in the dark. And as I always tell you, if there's a monkey hand in the dark and you go and shake it, you will think it's a human hand. Until you turn on the light, you will not see it. And I'm saying, oh nana, je o yebo baba o ni ba chwanka o nana, oh nana. The people are suffering. Like Vice President Baumia said, carpenters are suffering, nurses are suffering, teachers are suffering, trotro mates are suffering, journalists are suffering, doctors are suffering, even politicians are suffering. So when you say you brought the Agyenkwa budget, Agyenkwa savior from who? That's the question I'm asking. Because you brought a Juma budget, you brought a Sempa budget, you brought Impunto budget, you brought Obatampa case, you have now brought, Japan was bought, right? Now we have a Agyenkwa budget. What has been the impact of all of these on the lives of the people? Quote figures. And tell us what it is that you think you have done. But the pockets of the people keep broadcasting to them the real figures on the ground. Their personal economies, the people-friendly economy that Dr. Baumia promised us he was going to do is what we want to see. And stop blaming COVID because we borrowed so much to deal with the COVID pandemic. I'm waiting, watching Parliament, how they're going to deal with that Sputnik V deal. Because there's some rot that happened there. I'm looking at Parliament to see how they're going to deal with the frontline testing service at the airport. I'm looking at Parliament. And I'm looking at Parliament to see whether or not the benefit of 137 plus 137 plus 1, they would let this slide. Because I've given you the kind of impact it will have on individuals. If we start this, you send small money, bah! You send small money, bah! You send small money, bah! Can we survive with this kind of migraine? Good morning.